Okay. So we've given it away. We were trained that way. And there is another way. And so that's why I think just understanding who we are, what we can do, that really what's happened, that we've been indoctrinated, that we've been told that we're, we're told that we're this, that we're not who we are. We're a title, let's say. That's not true. And so that demeans us, and that diminishes our power, and that's not on purpose. And so once we even know, oh, like I can do that. Like I've got this power. I'm telling you, it will unleash like a banshee. And then we start supporting each other. And that is what humans are. I see that. And so many people, that is who we are. It's just that we have these programs and these filters and this trauma and all of that. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be little groups like this, big groups, and, all these different layers. But we have the power. And so the hope is in us. The hope is in me. I make my hope, because I know what I'm going to do. I know what I can do, and I know what I plan to do. And I see a lot of other people on the same line of thought. Not that I'm right and someone else is wrong. That's not what I mean. But I'm talking about this disengaging from what's hurtful and going towards what seems to be a more loving system, way of doing things. And that has more power than their way. And the universe will support that. God will support that. The energies will support that. And so there's a way to approach a situations in honor and being beyond reproach, but you claim your damn power, and we all have it. And I understand. I've kind of always kind of known. But I also kind of just muscled my way through things, and so I have to learn the other side of it. So, but I'll add my own little stories. Nothing specific. But what I've noticed when with this whole, let's say, the masking thing, because I've been dead set against that. It just, so many reasons. And so I noticed that, and I've been in plenty of medical establishments enough times. And I noticed that if I have a certain demeanor on a mindset, when I go in, I get it done without a mask. It's crazy the things that happen. I have the right words. I just, either they don't see me. I don't know what it is. But if I waver, if I am not sure, if I'm a little bit scared, it's either really hard or I get kicked out. I've had the police call me 3 times. It's a different situation. And so I think it does come, and it takes practice, because you'll maybe get 50% of the way. Look, you go into the store without a mask. They'll ask you to leave, then you leave. Your heart beats, and then you just leave. You go on one little step, baby steps. The next time you go try to get some kale, like I did once, and they ask you to leave, and then you leave, and so you have to practice. And so it's like anything else, getting your power, feeling your power, claiming it. It's going to be scary. You're going to be like, how far can I go? And how can I do this? And how can I do this with, confidence? But it is a fantastic feeling, and it's not I'm better than you feeling. It's it's hard to explain. Maybe it's different for everybody, but it's just, I am calmer. I'm at peace much more when I get into this space, and I claim my power, and understanding that they being just the dark side, they can't touch us. They cannot touch you if you are in that space. I mean, literally that whole system is a house of cards. Literally, if you just know who you are and know how to talk to them, they don't want anything to do with you. And so we can get our little groups so that we're supporting each other, whatever we need, teaching our children, educating our children, having our little homesteads, trading locally. We still have the internet. We can support each other, on a worldwide basis too, with information and all that. And I see that's the way forward. In a nutshell, we can do it. I'm actually getting in front of and sitting down with the pioneers of the primary water movement. A lot of them are dead, but I just talked with one of the wives who's still alive in California. And so with that whole, the reason I'm bringing this up is because that whole movement, they're hitting against opposition with the powers that should be, the jurisdictional stuff. And, they don't want anyone to know. that water is actually produced underneath the earth in copious amounts, then, then they can't control people with water. And so you can see how that, but they're trying to go through it in a legal way. And I'm like, you're not going to win. You can't do that. It hasn't worked thus far either. So claiming your power, and even if it takes one homesteader at a time to claim their power and say, this is my land, I own this, this is my property, and I'm in a different jurisdiction. I will drill for water, and I will drill, anywhere that I want to drill. One of the things that I've learned over the last few years is getting in touch with my emotions, is that when I get emotional, and let's say I cry, which I've done a few times even on this call, is I started to be able to identify why I'm crying. But you always think of tears and crying are just this emotion that seems a little confusing as being sadness. And what I realized was, when we're talking about loss, when I link back in my mind about the things that I used to love, even just the lifestyle that I had, a certain place. I loved the condo I used to live in. Oh my gosh, just something like that. The life that I had there for a few years, pets that I've had, things like that. If I get emotional and I might even cry, it's like, you know what it is sometimes for me is those are happy tears. And sometimes I'll even tell the person I'm with, it's like, I just want to let you know, like, these are happy tears. Like, I feel emotional right now. And I was never able to feel without being angry and crying over anger. And when that changed for me a few years ago, I was able, my heart just, changed. It opened up. And I was able to feel like I'd never felt before. And it could be hormonal too, because, when estrogen goes down, you just everything starts to affect you. But it was more than that for me. I'm saying that hormones could be a factor. But so what I try to do is, in the moment, I do try to get into my body and say, where am I feeling this in my body? Where is it? Usually it's something in my chest or my neck, something like that. So I know it's a physical sensation, which just helped me to identify it. And also, and then I rationally talk to myself and say, wait a minute now, am I sad? Or I'm just saying, I loved that thing. I loved that thing I had. And I'm emotional right now because I feel so much feelings right now. And sometimes I can't identify it. It's just like, but I'm not sad. If anything, I'll get angry and I won't cry. So there's a big difference there. So if I'm missing something, a relationship or anything else, I really try to identify that as, and then I'm able to now, this is how I can move forward. How I move forward is that then I appreciate, it's like, I had that. And I had that for a reason. And I had that because I manifested that. I needed that. I loved that. And I can still love that. Even though I don't have that now, I don't need to have that now. That was there for a reason. The condo that I had for 8 years, I had loved the whole life I had there. I loved the place. And it's like, it just didn't work for me after a while. And it's just like, wow, but you know what? That was a gift. And it was a total gift to me. And I can say, it's kind of like seeing a car right now. I love cars. Seeing a car that I love. And it's like, wow, I just get a feeling. And I'm like, I just want to flirt with it. Like, I want to, I appreciate it. It's like, I just love it. Eye candy, all kinds of things. And it's like, you know what? I don't need to possess it. I can love that thing going down the road, and I can just love it. So, or that nice blouse on I love the blouse. I don't need to have it. I just love it. I don't need to possess that. So it's like, I don't need to keep holding on to all these things I used to have that were great at the time. And so now I'm in a totally different place of appreciation. Oh, wow, what gifts I've had. And I've got all these gifts and memories that I can go to anytime I want and say, thank you. And allow more things to come to me. And I grew from that, and I appreciate, and because I appreciated that and appreciate it, or maybe sometimes you don't appreciate it at the time, but later you go, oh, I really appreciate that now. And even if it was a bad experience, I really appreciate that now. Because now I can move on to the other thing that I need, want, that's the case. So, and maybe that's a part of growth too. And you don't have to let go. You don't have to let go of something. And I think that's where our fear comes in. If I do I have to let this go? If not, because I'm just going to keep grieving because I don't want to let it go, you know? And I think we can get in a place of acceptance, of appreciation, where we're not letting it go. You know, there are things I love, and I don't have to let it go because I have the memories there, and they'll always be there. I love that.